So thank you for joining me. So, what did we learn yesterday? That Josiah had an evil father and an evil grandfather. His father was Amon, his grandfather was Manasseh, but in his generations was King David, and that Josiah had sent the scribe to Hilkiah the high priest. It told us that. And we've got to get this money into the people that are actually doing the work. And then Hilkiah says, hey, I found this book. And so it gets read to the king. So we're going to pick up here in 2 Kings chapter 22, verse 11. And I want to apologize. I'm sure I'm going to butcher these names. There's a lot of them, but it says this in 2 Kings 22, verse 11. Now it happened when the king heard the words of the book of the law that he tore his clothes. Then the king commanded Hilkiah the priest, Ahikam the son of Shaphan, Achbor the son of Micaiah, Shaphan the scribe, and Isaiah the servant of the king, saying, Go inquire of the Lord for me, for the people, and for all Judah concerning the words of this book that has been found. For great is the wrath of the Lord that is aroused against us, because our fathers have not obeyed the words of this book, to do according to all that is written concerning us. So what do we have? We have here that Josiah is saying, go inquire of the Lord for me. So now we're going to see Hilkiah is back in the story. So it says Hilkiah the high priest. And so they go to Hilda the prophetess. So here's the high priest, the spiritual leader, going to a prophetess named Huldah. She is the wife of Shallum, the son of Tikva, the son of Harhas, keeper of the wardrobe. It says she dwelt in Jerusalem in the second quarter. It says this, and they spoke with her. So they're going to talk to her because remember, the king went to the high priest, and the high priest is now going to this prophetess. And she said to them in verse 15, Thus says the Lord God of Israel, tell the man who sent you to me, Thus says the Lord, behold, I will bring calamity on this place and on its inhabitants, all the words of the book which the king of Judah has read, because they have forsaken me and burned incense to other gods, that they might provoke me to anger with all the works of their hands. Therefore, my wrath shall be aroused against this place and shall not be quenched. But as for the king of Judah, who sent you to inquire of the Lord, in this manner you shall speak to him. Thus says the Lord God of Israel, concerning the words which you have heard, because your heart was tender, and you humbled yourself before the Lord, which you heard what I spoke against this place and against its inhabitants, that they would become a desolation and a curse. And you tore your clothes and wept before me. Also I have heard you, says the Lord. Surely, therefore, I will gather you to your fathers, and you shall be gathered to your grave in peace. And your eyes shall not see the calamity which I will bring on this place. So they brought back word to the king. So when we had talked in all those videos about women as pastors, and there were things that I left off, and you can see why I left this off because it's lengthy. But here we see that Huldah, she's the prophetess. She is consulted by the high priest Hilkiah during the reign of King Josiah, who is a descendant of King David, and said, inquire about the Lord for me. And Josiah had learned that generations back, they hadn't been doing what God had instructed. They had been ignoring him. And so he wanted to know God's will. It goes on to say in 2 Kings 23 that Josiah will restore true worship. And it goes on to say, and you should read that for time purposes. Of course, we don't have time, but they start talking about keeping Passover, etc. And I just wanted to share this with all of you. Armor up, we ride at dawn. May God bless you as always. Have a great day.